Today, let's learn how fingernails' appearance can signal health issues.
All right, let's get right into it. Do me a favor, take a look at your hands. No, really, look at your fingernails, because it turns out they might be sending you a secret health report, like right this very second.
So what exactly are they trying to tell you? Let's play detective for a little bit, you and me. We're gonna start by just looking closely at our nails. And trust me, what you find might actually surprise you.
Okay, check this out. On one side, you've got healthy nails. They're smooth, they're kind of shiny, got that nice rounded shape and a healthy pink color. But then, look at the other side. We're talking about those vertical ridges. You know, when you run your thumb over them and it feels like a little washboard? Or maybe they're flat, or even scooped out like a spoon. And the color? Pale, maybe even yellowish. These are major clues. And listen, this isn't just about needing a multivitamin. No, the real story here goes way, way deeper.
So if your nails are showing these kinds of signs, it's like getting a report card from your body. And in traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, all these signs point to one really specific thing. It's a big deal, and it's called liver blood deficiency. Liver blood deficiency, what on earth is that, right? Well, in the world of TCM, think of your liver as this huge reservoir for your blood. Now, if the blood in that reservoir is low, or maybe the quality isn't great, it just can't do its job of nourishing your whole body. And guess where the first warning signs pop up? Yep, your fingernails.
But hold on a second. The liver and fingernails? I know, it sounds like a pretty random connection. But in TCM, there's actually this incredibly elegant logic that ties this super important internal organ to this tiny little external part of you.
And this isn't some new idea, by the way. This goes back thousands of years. There's this quote from one of the classic texts of Chinese medicine, the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon, and it basically says it all. The liver, its brilliance manifests in the nails. That brilliance, we're talking about the health, the vitality of your liver. It's literally on display for you to see, right there at your fingertips. Here's a really cool way to think about it. Imagine your body is a giant tree. Your liver? That's the root system, buried deep in the ground doing all the hard work. And your nails? They're like the leaves and flowers on the very farthest branches. Now, if those leaves start looking withered and brittle, you don't just put lotion on the leaf, right? Of course not. You know the real problem is down at the root. Or how about this one? Think of your liver as the central supply depot for an entire army, and your fingernails, they're the soldiers stationed at the absolute furthest outpost on the frontier. When supplies, we're talking nutrient-rich blood, are flowing, everybody's happy. But what happens when the central depot starts running low on rations? Well, they're not going to cut supplies to the command center, are they? Nope. They're going to cut the supply line to that lonely outpost on the edge of the map first. That's what your nails are. They're that first signal that the main depot is starting to feel the pinch.
And this is where we see a fascinating difference between Western medicine and TCM. Look, both systems are incredibly valuable, but they're looking through different lenses. You could go to your doctor, get a blood test, and everything could come back normal. Your numbers are all within the standard range. But TCM is looking at something else. It's looking at the pattern, the trend, the overall picture. It sees those unhealthy nails and says, okay, your blood work might be fine today, but you are on a trajectory towards a problem. It's all about catching these things super early, before they show up on a lab test.
So if you're seeing these signs, what do you do about it? Well, from a TCM perspective, the goal is pretty straightforward. We need to nourish the liver blood. And just a quick heads up, of course, this is all about explaining the theory. It's not medical advice. But with that said, there is this absolutely foundational formula. I mean, it's so elegant, and it's been the go-to solution for this for more than 1,000 years.
It's called Si Wu Tang, which translates to the four substances decoction. And honestly, this is like the undisputed king of all blood-nourishing formulas in the entire history of Chinese medicine. It's just 4 herbs, that's it. But the way they work together is pure genius. So let's meet the team, shall we?
First up, we have the emperor herb of the group, Shudi Wang. So in TCM, the very origin of our blood is tied to our deepest energy reserve, which is called kidney essence. This herb goes right to that source. It works on that fundamental level to build up that core energy. It's basically like going way upstream and making sure the source of the river is full, so there are enough raw materials to create good, healthy blood downstream.
Next, we've got Dangui. You might have heard of this one. It's often called the Queen of Herbs, especially for women's health. The thing about Dangui that's so incredible is that it does two things at once. It helps build new blood, for sure, but it also gets it moving. It invigorates the blood, making sure it's circulating properly. This is so key. You're not just creating a stagnant pool of blood. You're creating living, flowing, vibrant blood.
All right, then there's Bai Shao, or white peony root. This herb's job is to manage the liver itself. See, sometimes the liver can get, well, agitated or hot, and when that happens, it can't store the blood properly. Bai Shao has this sour quality, and in TCM, that sour flavor has a calming, collecting effect. So it literally soothes the liver, telling it to chill out and hold on to all that nice new blood we're making.
And rounding out our crew of 4 is Chuan Xiang. This one is the path opener. It's this super powerful herb for circulation. Think of it like the delivery driver for the whole operation. It makes sure that all this rich new blood we've just created actually gets where it needs to go, to every single part of the body, all the way up to your brain, and yes, all the way out to the very tips of your fingers, to nourish those nails. So you see, you've got the raw materials, the builder, the manager, and the delivery service. It's a perfect, complete system in just 4 herbs.
So that's Siwu Tang. It's the perfect foundation. But this is where the art of TCM gets really, really cool. A true master doesn't just look at the problem you have today. They think ahead. They anticipate what's coming down the road.
So they ask themselves this critical question. If the liver blood is weak, what else is going to be affected? Because they know from thousands of years of observation that if this root issue isn't fixed, it's going to cause a whole cascade of other problems.
And what kind of problems are we talking about? Well, first off, sleep. Big time. In TCM, the liver blood is what anchors your spirit. They call it the hun while you sleep. If that blood is weak, your spirit can't settle down. It just wanders. And that means you have trouble falling asleep, you wake up a lot, you have these super vivid dreams that leave you feeling exhausted. It also messes with your mood, making you feel irritable, and for women, it can have a direct effect on their monthly cycle.
So a truly smart formula doesn't just stop at the basics. It builds on that original foundation. You start with Siwu Tang. That's your non-negotiable base. Then you add some supporting herbs to get ahead of those sleep and mood issues we just talked about. And for the final touch, you add one more brilliant little herb, a guide.
And this support crew is just awesome. You add an herb called Ye Jiao Tang. Get this, its name means night-crossing vine, and its whole job is to help your spirit settle in for a peaceful night's rest. Then you add He Hu Han Pi, the collective happiness bark. I mean, how great is that name? And it does exactly what it sounds like. It helps soothe that frustration and irritability that can pop up.
And now for the master stroke, the final elegant touch. You add a guide herb, Yujin, which is a type of turmeric. Think of this herb as the GPS for the entire formula. Its job is to go directly to the liver. It basically grabs all the other herbs and says, hey guys, party's over here, follow me. This one simple addition makes the entire formula so much more targeted, so much more efficient, and just way more powerful.
So do you see the incredible logic playing out here? It's amazing, right? We started with something so simple, something you might not even notice, a brittle fingernail. And from that one little clue, we were able to identify a deep, body-wide imbalance, understand why it's happening, and then build this incredibly smart, multi-layered solution to fix it.
And that, right there, is the big takeaway. Your body is talking to you all the time. It has its own dashboard full of little indicator lights. Your fingernails are just one of them, and they happen to be one of the easiest ones to check. Think of them as that early warning light that flashes, telling you, hey, your internal reserves are getting a little low, long before a real breakdown happens.
Learning how to read these signals is, well, it's a superpower, really. So, I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know what your fingernails might be trying to tell you, what other signals from your body's dashboard have you been ignoring?